All right. We're each going to draft 5 potential offensive rookie of the year candidates. Say why we believe that they have a good chance to win. Maybe that we don't. If they're like the 9th, 10th pick, obviously we don't believe in them too much. But we flipped a coin earlier. Proverbial coin. Kyle gets the first pick, and then we snake it from there. Go ahead.
I think it's important to understand that when you win these awards, it's because you're part of a unit that's pretty good, a team that's pretty good. They're not going to give the offensive rookie of the year to a guy that's playing in New Orleans this coming year, or one of the teams that's vying for the Arch Manning sweepstakes. One of those teams that's not going to be vying for those sweepstakes is the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm going to be picking Ashton Jeanty, the running back. We fell in love with this guy last year. I've been in love with Chip Kelly. Everybody loves Pete Carroll. You know that this team has a solid offensive line. They're getting healthy on the defensive side of the ball. This football team's going to play well defensively. Geno Smith is the veteran presence they need at the quarterback position, and they're going to bleed people out with Ashton Jeanty. I feel like he gets a ton of touches. In the National Football League, we don't save really nice things. We use them, okay? Ashton Jeanty is as nice as they come. And I've been on teams with Chip Kelly before, and he wants to suck the blood out of the defense. And you do that with a running game. Ashton Jeanty's going to put up great numbers behind this offensive line. That's my first pick, offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, he is the favorite currently. Will be for some time. He's at plus 250 right now on that's BetMGM. Yeah, that's the no-brainer first pick in my opinion. His rushing prop's only like 1,070 yards. I mean, obviously injuries happen, whatever, but
and people love that they are in the AFC West and that there's already a bully being built in Denver. There's a long-standing bully in Kansas City, and now player 3 enters the fold here with these guys. Obviously, the Chargers are always meddling on the West Coast, but if the Raiders are good, it is so good for this division. It's so great for the conference, and it's just great for football.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I'm very high in that shit. The Raiders, I got a bunch of Raiders takes. I think they're one of the most fascinating teams in the NFL to watch this season for a number of reasons. But the foremost to me is that they are probably as good as it gets in the NFL, in the entire NFL, at running back and tight end. The Lions right up there, obviously, as well. But, like, you have elite running back and tight end. Probably top 5 at both positions. I know we haven't seen Jeanty in the NFL, but, like, I had seen him in college. That's kind of where I'd put him in the mix. So if you have a top 5 player at each of those positions, you have true weapons.
Jeez,
and you have an offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, who's like, I think he's still doing what he kind of reinvented himself last year with Ohio State. And obviously they had a ton of talent, but like, I was very impressed with what they did down the stretch, beating some elite defenses. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And with Jeanty, Chip Kelly ran the ball a ton last year. They had like a 55-45 pass run split. And when you saw the receiving room, obviously Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, you would think that should be like a 70-30.
Yeah, no.
But
Chip's like, nah, bro. We hit the weights all summer for this. That's what Chip is. Chip loves big hogs up front. That's what they have in Las Vegas. Awesome. Big hogs up front. No big hogs in the back, but big hogs up front is what he loves. And he's got that. He's got the 2 tight ends, 2 types of body types. You can do the inline tight end with Mayer. You're going to move your guy, Brock Bowers, all over the football field, present so many tough looks for a defense to cover both pass and run. And then Jeanty's going to have advantageous numbers. We got numbers. That's what O-line coaches used to say. We got numbers, and that's always good. You're going to be able to run some combination blocks and get guys moved off the ball.
And his first year in the NFL, Shady McCoy went for 1,600 yards. He led the league in rushing. So he's not – people think it was like an aired out OC. That's not the case whatsoever. All right. I got the snake. I got 2 picks. I'm going to go 1 Cam Ward just because, I mean – it's a quarterback award. He's going to start. Will he put up big numbers? I don't think so. But, Kyler Murray didn't put up big numbers and won Rookie of the Year. They get so much deference in the award. I talked about it last year. I lamented it last year with one Brock Bowers, who put up the best rookie tight end season of all time and got hated on by the committee. But if he puts together anything, if he has the Titans above water at all, I think he'll get a lot of deference for this award. So I'm going him, and then I'm going to go with Marion Hampton. Obviously very chalky here. the 2 first-round running backs coming off the board, but it's the position that succeeds the easiest in the NFL or has the easiest path to success early on.
Just hand it to him.
You have an exceptional offensive line there in Los Angeles. Truly could be, it could be number 2 in the NFL behind Philly this year. It could usurp Philly depending on how injuries go for each, unit. So it's going to be a damn good offensive line blocking for him. At that point, Marion Hampton, Najee Harris keeps doing whatever the heck he did this offseason, not reporting and whatnot. We are going to have a big year from the North Carolina running back.
So I get 2 picks now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a lot of people want me to pick Travis Hunter, but a lot of people don't realize that BTJ is going to still get the ball a ton, okay? So while Travis Hunter may be spectacular on offense and may provide some of the most jaw-dropping plays we've seen from a rookie, he's not my 4th pick, okay? We're on the 4th pick now?
Yep.
Okay. I know I talked about teams having to win a lot of games, but what else do Americans love? They love a story about picking yourself up from your bootstraps, rising from the ashes. Who's done that more than Bryce Young in Carolina?
I knew exactly.
And the cavalry has arrived, and it comes in the form of Tetaroa McMillan. And we heard this offseason, you said there's certain nicknames he doesn't like. And then I saw him at the podium the other day, and he was straight up like, I do not like certain nicknames. These are my name. My mama named me this. You will call me this. I love a man with some initiative, some size, and he's got a quarterback who is going to get him the football. While they may not win the division, they may not be in contention for a Super Bowl spot, I think this young receiver, Tetaroa McMillan, will have an awesome year, and America will fall in love with this duo in Carolina.
T-Mac plus 1,300 right now. That's the 4th shortest odds, and he's the 4th overall pick here. So good selection.
So my next pick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of options here, but I think you know what direction I'm going to go, because we've seen some of these tight ends come into the National Football League, and when they have a coordinator and when they have a quarterback and when they've got some semblance of an offensive line, you can just feed these suckers the football time and time again. The Bears invested a ton of draft capital into a young tight end. And we talked about the impact of having a tight end opposite him. Cole Kmet is the inline guy for the Chicago Bears. Colson Loveland will be that Brock Powers type in Ben Johnson's offense. He's going to move all around. He's going to have plenty of opportunities to get the football. I truly think volume is not a concern here with Colson Loveland. That's my next pick in the Offensive Rookie of the Year draft.
You should have known, Kyle, in a drafting situation, there's not only that you need to draft good players, but you need to draft for value. And you should have known that there was zero chance I was drafting a Chicago Bear this highly in a rookie draft. So you could have waited. I'm just saying you could have waited and taken.
I can't. I'm too in love with him. I'm too in love with him. You made it happen because I was in love with Tyler Warren. Then you made me look. It's that meme. I was walking down the street with Tyler Warren, and then you were like, put in Colston Loveland. And then I was like,
see, there's one guy on the Chicago Bears. I think there's one player, and if we're talking like fantasy, that I think that I trust will put up numbers this year. Rome Odunze.
Yep.
If I were one guy, bet on one guy, Rome Odunze would be the one. After that, I just think there's too many mouths
to feed.
Is the one thing I worry. Not to say that, Colson Loveland can't have a bomb-ass rookie year, that he can't be a stud right out the gate, or that, Luther Burden can't either. It's that after, it's DJ Moore, it's Cole Kmet, it's all Olamide Zaccheaus, all blocking. We're just all getting some chip off the block that is whatever amount of passes Caleb Williams is going to have. So Colson could be great.
Oh,
man. Don't think he's going to get the numbers to get into the Rookie of the Year conversation. He wasn't even tight end. I made my draft board for this. He wasn't even tight end 1 on my draft board.
I think I know who tight end 1 is for you, and I think I might have him in my sleepers.
But after how the tight ends have been getting snubbed, we in Rookie of the Year drafts, you're going to have to have an elite situation for me.
I'm paying attention to recent history, Mike. You understand?
But they don't get Rookie of the Year. They don't win the award. I don't think
the tide is turning in favor of the do-it-all tight end.
It is.
If Ben Johnson sees the vision, I see the vision, damn it.
I hope the voters also see the vision. That leaves me with just some easy chalk here. I'm going to take Travis Hunter with this pick.
Yep.
Now, I think this is more in line. Like, I would have taken Tedero McMillan over him as well, just because of situation, what he can, the sort of opportunities he'll have. But I think you'll get some deference for Travis Hunter. Not saying it's fair, but if he plays some on defense, and I don't think he's going to play enough on both sides to really factor in to both, sides of the ball in terms of winning the award. But you'll see some voters be like, hey,
just because he did both, we're going to give him.
Here's how impressive it was at
I can't wait to have this argument with you at the end of the year. God damn it, dude. This is ridiculous.
I'm not saying I'd make it. I think it's completely unfair. I think it works in the Heisman, and it should have factored in the Heisman, and he rightfully won that award. But I don't think that factors into offensive or defensive rookie of the year. I just don't. Now, it's dumb and semantics, but it is what it is. But I'm still taking him here at this point just because we're trying to figure out who's going to actually win, even if I wouldn't have voted for him if his numbers are suspect, but he just played both sides. All right, enough of that. My next one, RJ Harvey. Broncos, second round pick.
Damn it.
On the older side. He's 24 years old. He's a running back hitting the NFL basically in his prime, mid-career form at 24 years old, one of the oldest rookies you'll ever see, but obviously had a unique sort of path to get there. He was a quarterback starting off his career, had some big injuries early on. That's why he stays to that age. But my Lord, is this guy perfect for Sean Payton's offense. Can catch the ball out of the backfield. It is a jitterbug with some legit 4.4 speed as well. I watched his tape and I'm just like, yeah, I can see why you drafted him in the second round. Now, obviously, I thought that was rich in this running back class, but he is a damn good running back going behind a damn good offensive line with really not much in the way of competition. You got Audric Estime there who can take some short yardage and maybe goal line carries away from him, but RJ Harvey's going to be a lead dog there. He's going to get every opportunity to get every touch. And because of that, I'm taking him here.
And the Payton family loves RJ Harvey. We've discussed that.
Yes.
I'm torn here with my next one. Man, oh man, because you're kind of in this make a statement category with your next pick here, and I only get one, correct?
No, you got two. You got two more, and then I got
so
one.
I can make one extremely quickly and then move on to the second. I love Emeka Egbuka, but like you said with Colston Loveland, it's going to be an issue of mouths to feed.
Yeah, that's a lot of
tons of mouths to feed there. I could totally see Jackson Dart coming off the bench for the New York Giants, playing opposite a nightmarish defensive front, suffocating defense. Really, the table will be set for a young quarterback to come in and make a connection with a second-year receiver and a number of guys who are ready and willing for somebody to step in as a leader. Obviously, you're going to get Russell Wilson. Obviously, Jameis Winston is waiting in the wings, but we know the situation with the coaching staff in New York, and we know how short of a leash they're on. The leash gets longer if you can show that the guy you picked at the quarterback position is the guy for the future, or maybe right now. Look, Jackson Dart's my pick here. I'm going to go Jackson Dart.
I think you're Jackson Dart's biggest fan. I think you might usurped his mom at this point.
It might be the diamond necklace.
His mom's like, yeah.
What happened was we did a Super Bowl show. For those of you who have not caught up on the Love Fest with Jackson Dart, we did a Super Bowl show in New Orleans, and we picked the next 5-year Super Bowl winners. And obviously, Mike was like, okay, Philly, Buffalo. He was just naming teams. And this was pre-draft. So I just said, Philly, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Jackson Dart. Whatever team Jackson
2030
Dart
is just Jackson Dart. You got Jackson Dart here. You have for your squad.
Jackson Dart. And since there is no receiver number one in Green Bay.
Oh, you're taking him out from under me. Go for it.
How cool would it be for you and the boys and the girls up there in the old cheese eater state if Matthew Golden showed up at Lambeau and was just an absolute Lamborghini for this offense, and your guy Jordan Love would fall in love, and you could pack them in there to Lambeau and you would just dominate. And this is my pick, Matthew Golden. Okay, they need somebody to step up to the plate and swing the bat big time for this offense. I like all the receivers in Green Bay. I like all the receivers. I don't love any of them. Okay. The only guy I'm kind of in love with, like I'll call him back, is Jaden Reed. He's fun. What is Matthew Golden's role going to be in this offense? How does the volume share? And Matt LaFleur, how do you shake this whole thing out? And who does Jordan Love trust the most? And who gets the most targets?
No, that's great. I don't think it's just the offense isn't set up to be like, here's a number one guy. It just isn't. And that's why Jaden Reed was a little upset last year. But the goal is to have three guys who can be your number one guy and then just go from there. So I do think there's a good chance that even if there's not a number one, and even if Golden's, not getting necessarily featured, him, Jaden Reed, Dontavion Wicks could all be, in the 800 to 1,100 yard range. And depending on who gets more touchdowns and depending on how other guys' seasons go, I think Matthew Golden could very well be in the mix for Rookie of the Year when it's all said and done. That leaves me to last pick. And I'm very happy that this guy is still on the board. I think he is at minimum my favorite value bet for Offensive Rookie of the Year as it stands right now, because according to Betchy MGM, he is plus 10,000, which is blowing my mind. It's Dylan Sampson, the 4th round pick for the Cleveland Browns out of Tennessee. I love this guy's tape. I know a lot of people did. He obviously falls to the 4th because he's a little bit of an undersized back, but we saw an undersized back absolutely ball out last year in Tampa, and Bucky Irving, similarly sized. I think Sampson's even a little better of an athlete. And there's not really any competition now. Quinshon Judkins, the Browns told him to go home. They haven't even signed Quinshon Judkins, their 2nd round running back, after the domestic violence allegations against him down in Fort Lauderdale. So I don't think Judkins is going to be a big factor for the Browns this season. I just don't. I mean, they don't have to push the envelope on that whatsoever right out the gate here. So because of that, it's him. It's Jerome Ford. We've seen enough from Jerome Ford to say, I don't think that's much competition. And so, yeah, maybe they'll be behind a lot and maybe they'll be having to throw a lot, but their quarterback position, I think they're ideally going to want to grind out a lot of tough, low-scoring games. And, well, I think that means you're going to run the ball a lot. And so Dylan Sampson, he was a bell cow last year at Tennessee. I don't have any questions about what he can do with the high-end workload. So because of that, I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm saying at plus 10,000, I think he's going to have a much, much better season than what that suggests. So he's my last pick here. So to recap, OROY, before we go to break, you got Ashton Jeanty, Tedero McMillan, Colson Loveland, Jackson Dart, and Matthew Golden. I'm rocking with Cam Ward, Marion Hampton, Travis Hunter, RJ Harvey, and Dylan Sampson. We'll revisit come end of season. Obviously, I think we both think Jeanty is going to win. So maybe the last 9 picks were moot, but we can revisit that one when the time comes.